Alright, so what you currently see is the ASD Hydro E-brake 16-inch pullback style with the Willward master cylinder. I went with ASD because the quality just looks a lot better, and you gotta admit that's a baller looking Hydro E-brake. I use stainless steel lines to run through my system, because stainless steel lines is a little bit easier to maneuver around, and I'll talk through that setup here in a little bit. But let me show you the other Hydro E-brake that I got. This right here is the ISIS E-brake that I originally had. As you can see, there's a big difference between the two. The quality is just doesn't look like it's there. I'm sure it'll still do the job. The reason I strayed away from this guy because I could never find fittings to go back in here, and I got tired of visiting Napa and AutoZone and various brake stores and all the other good stuff. So I got tired of shopping around for this, and so I just went ahead and bought the ASD, and I'm glad I did, and hopefully it works well. But next up, we'll look at how the brake line is ran and talk through that process. Alright, I'm going to show you what's a little weird about this this setup. So what I did was, I found on S13 there's one line that runs to the back, and then when it gets to the back it tees off for the passenger brake and the driver brake. What I did was find that line and followed it into the middle of the car where this hole is, where these lines go into. And so what I did was I cut that line, put a fitting on it, and then flared it, and did the same thing on the other side of the line and tapped into the Hydro E-brake. And so what's weird is, you know, there's a line coming from this side of the firewall, and you would think that line goes to this guy, and then it would go through the cylinder, get pumped back out, go through this one, and then follow the line in the rear. You know, when I did that, it didn't work, and I could never get the brakes bled, and couldn't figure out my problem. So I called up ASD, and they told me that this guy right here, the rear line, follows here, actually goes into the brake master cylinder. And so you know, to me that's a little backwards. So this guy goes to the rear brake master cylinder, and this guy goes to the rear brake line. So again, the recap on that is, I followed the line from the brake master cylinder, cut a line into it, spliced it into this guy, and then on the other side of the line, which goes to the rear brake line, splice it into this guy. And again, this is 5-foot stainless steel brake line, and I attached it to the OEM hard line by cutting it, putting a fitting on, flaring it, and then connecting it with the fittings that I got from the performance store. And we'll go underneath the car and kind of show you what that looks like here in a little bit. So here we are underneath the car, and I just kind of pulled down the line just so you all can see. It's not going to be like this when it's all said and done. But again, this right here is the one rear brake line. I cut it, put some fittings on it, and screwed them into the stainless steel line from the Hydro. This is the line that's coming from the brake master cylinder. This is the stainless steel line that I was talking about. It connects to these fittings that I got from a performance store. And again, this guy runs to the back of the master cylinder on the Hydro, and then from the front of the Hydro, there's a fitting. The front fitting of the Hydro has a stainless steel line that's ran to the rear brake line. And again, I just kind of had this dangling down so you all can kind of see what I did there. When it's all final, it'll be tucked up underneath the car so that you know, it's out of the way and doesn't get messed up. Here's a closer look of the ASD Hydro. I got my fabricator to build a mounting plate so that I can take on and off the Hydro as needed. There's the fitting.